How's it going, guys and girls? Rob here, and week two of football is just about over with, and um, Gabe Kapler in Philadelphia is just about over with. Got kicked out of the game today, and I understand that it was a very heated conversation between he and Matt Clintack after, well, after he got kicked out. Before the end of the game, he actually went down the runway. Um, Clintack actually tried to grab him and pull him into his office, and Gabe had nothing to do with that. And it almost came to blows before it was over with. It was not a fun sight. No um, uh, press was in that area during the game, obviously, but it was heard by some of the press from out in the dugout. They could hear something was going on down the runway, and could tell something was not right. And Bryce was Bryce was he was going up to the suite by then. So he has a suite with his parents in Philadelphia, and Bryce Harper got kicked out of the game for arguing balls and strikes, and then Gabe Kapler did, and Kapler's days in Philly are numbered, and it could be as little as 16. That's how many games are left, or less. Um, who's going to be taking over the Philadelphia Phillies organization from a dugout? Got three names for you. Um, two of them probably not. One of them I got a good feeling about. First off, let me give you number three, Chase Utley. Chase Utley has never managed in his life, as far as I know. I was going Phantomatic. Chase Utley has never managed a day in his life, I guess. He shows up to some of the games now in Philly, and you can tell he's aged over the last 3-4 years. He really is aged, and he's not an old. I mean, he's still in his 40s, early 40s, and but he's aged a lot. He really has. Um, it's been rumored in Philadelphia that they would be willing to give Chase Utley a chance. Hell, they gave Ryan Sandberg a chance, um, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's a far out there scheme. If you're going to let Utley manage, let him go to Double A or Triple A. Let him start there, work his way up. I just don't. I just think Chase likes the limelight too much. I don't see him in Reading for a year or Scranton for a year, or I just don't see that. Wilkes-Barre, whatever. I just don't think so. Number two, Joe Girardi. Joe Girardi has been mentioned a lot over the last month and a half. Um, I don't think he's going to leave the job he's at right now with MLB Network. Um, he would be a great pickup. I think any team could get him, would love to have him. I don't think he will come to Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia may throw an offer his way, but I think it would take a lot of money to get Joe Girardi, and I don't think it's going to happen. The one manager I think will end up coming to Philadelphia, and I don't know whether he's going to have to get fired from his current job or will resign from his job. But I think Mike Scioscia is going to be the next quarterback, the next manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. I really think so. Scioscia has been in this doldrum of LA for the last few years. They try everything. They try to pick up their pitching. But the problem has been Albert Pujols. Albert Pujols has decent numbers out there. Don't get me wrong, but when you're paying a guy $30 million over 10 years, and your budget is not $250 a year, you're going to have problems. And now they're paying two guys $70 million. Between Trout and Pujols. Trout today officially is out for the season. He's done for the year. So the timing seems just about right. If they want to fire Socia, would be probably anytime between now and the end of the year. They may wait till the end of the season now, but they may want to get somebody's feet wet, especially if they're going to bring in a AAA guy to see what he can do in LA. If that's the case, Mike Socia should be number one on your list to replace uh, Gabe Kapler in Philadelphia. Um, Mets, Mickey Callaway. I hear a lot of talk about Mickey Callaway going to be hitting the road. I'm hearing that he's going to stay one more year. I'm hearing that the Mets have actually been happy with his performance. If he stays another year, there's going to be a lot of folks, Long Island, not going to be very, very happy with that decision. And, you know, I really think there probably should be three new managers in the East, and Mickey Callaway should be gone too, probably. But I think there's better than 50-50 chance that the Mets keep him another year. Then we go to Washington. Washington with Dave Martinez. Do you remember June, July? Everybody was saying there's going to be a switch. There's going to be a switch. Well, look. We are almost to the end of the season. A little over 15 games left. Not a single manager has been fired. Do you know why? It's all about the money, folks. That's why you don't see as much running and jumping in the off season as you did 10 years ago. Um, it's taking, I hear a lot of people saying, well, we need to put a salary cap, a dead salary cap on ball. No, trust me. The teams are realizing they're spending too much money. They're doing it on their own, and they're putting a stop to these GMs spending, 180, 190, $200 million on a team. And that's why you don't see as many teams repeating now. You really don't, because when a team has as much success as last year's Red Sox, as this year's Yankees, the next season, a lot of them have to get paid. And you just can't afford to keep everybody. And when you do, it straddles you and straps you from being able to get any free agents at all. Hard to stay healthy for 2 solid years, and it bit the Red Sox this year. Let's go to the NFL scoreboard, okay? All right. If you saw my score picks, I picked Carolina to beat Tampa Thursday night, and I missed that one. I picked the Cowboys 35, Redskins 24. It was a 31-21 game, so pretty accurate there. I picked the 49ers to beat the Bengals 33-21. It was 41-17. Pretty accurate there. I picked the Chargers to beat the Lions by 1 point, where the Lions beat the Chargers by 3, 13-10. That is really showing you right there. Matthew Stafford at home in a dome. Yeah, you're playing the Chargers, yeah, but man, 13 points. And then, say what you want to be about Philip Rivers. He put 10 on the board for him today. So stunk your joint up, right? The Packers, I picked them to beat the Vikings 24-20. They won 21-16. So I got that one right. I picked the Colts to beat the Titans 28-27. They win 19-17. So that was pretty close too. I picked the Patriots I said they won't go cover 19 points. Well, they covered 19 and 19. I picked them to win 35-24. That was way too much for the Dolphins because they put a goose egg on the board. 43-0, but I still picked the right game, the Patriots over the Dolphins. Wow. Is this team going to be bad or what? And I'm talking about the Giants. The Bills 21, the Giants. Bills 28, Giants 14 in New York. Now, it's 2 weeks in a row that the Bills went to New York. They played the Jets last week, beat the Jets. Went back to New York this week, beat the Giants. How about that? So the Bills have started 2-0 on the road. Say what you want to. Josh Allen He could be the real deal there. I picked the Steelers to beat the Seahawks 27-24, and they lost 28-25. Missed that one all the way. Um, Steelers may be in rebuild mode before it ends this season. I realize Seahawks are a decent team. Um, they ran into a bandsaw last week with the Patriots. I'm talking about the Steelers, but this week's loss is unacceptable. You cannot lose at Three Rivers or Hines, whatever the hell you want to call it, to a Seahawks team. You just cannot do that. They lost that game. That's a big loss for the Steelers. I picked the Ravens to win. I didn't think they would cover 13 points against the Cardinals. They didn't. 24-20 was my pick. 23-17 came very, very close in that ball game. The Texans and Jags. I told you the Texans were not 8.5 points better than the Jags, and they only beat them by 1 point. I picked them 20-17. They won 13-12. So I got those games right. So far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. I've missed 4. Let's go to some of the games in action right now. I picked the Chiefs to beat the Raiders 38-17. They're putting it to the Raiders right now. 3:15 left in the fourth quarter. Actually, 2:07 left in the fourth quarter. 28-10. That's a win. That's going to be a win for the Chiefs. I don't know what the final score is going to be, but I picked them to win by 21 points, and that right now they're up by 18. Denver. I picked them to beat Chicago. They've got a 4th and 10 at Chicago's 43 right now. Let's see. And we'll see what happens there. With 2:25 left to go in the game, that's a big down for the Denver. I actually picked Denver to win this by 1 point, but Bears are a decent team. I mean, you got to overlook Mitchell Trubisky all the way. He is just not a very good quarterback. I'm sorry. Their defense is good. They can run the ball a little bit, and they have decent receivers. The quarterback is just really numb and not very good. The Rams just scored again. I picked the Rams to win this ball game, 33-30. Obviously, we were not expecting Drew Brees to get hurt. Drew Brees is hurt, and the last I heard, he could be out for a few weeks. If there is a fracture on his hand, could be as much as 6 weeks. But they're still early preliminaries. They say there's a chance it just may be a bone bruise. Could be out just this week, maybe next week. He may even come back as early as next week. So we'll see there. Saints, their main thing is let's win at home. Let's win our 8 games at home. Go on the road and win a couple, and let's hope to make it playoffs. They're obviously getting their asses handed to them in LA today. I think LA is a better team either way. And I picked them to win 33-30. Tonight, Sunday night game. I should really change my points on this. I've got the Eagles winning 40-33. I think I'm going to change it. Okay, so I'm going to do a late change. This video I'll have to attach it, I guess, to my NFL picks of the week. Falcons have a couple of injuries coming into the game. Defensively, I picked the Eagles to win 40-33. I'm going to change it to 40-23. So I think there's going to be a blowout. I think this game is going to be a blowout. 40-23. Eagles win tonight. Tomorrow night's game may be the worst Monday night game in the history of Monday Night Football. The Browns, the Super Bowl bound Browns. Remember 2 months ago, we're looking at this Super Bowl. And last week, what did the Browns do? The Browns lost, but how bad did they get beat? They were at home, and they got beat by 30 to the Tennessee Titans. Okay? Then we're talking about the Jets, who got beat only by 1 point, right? To the Buffalo Bills, who may be better than we think they are. And they lost Sam Darnold, and he's out now. So, who is going to win that ball game? Well, I've looked into it. I've looked into it from a few different angles, and I like the Jets in this ball game. I like the Jets. I think it's going to be a good game, if you want to call it a good game. I say 21-20. It may have more field goals than touchdowns in the game, so don't be surprised if it's 18-15 or 18-14. Don't be surprised if one team kicks 5-6 field goals to win the game and doesn't even put the ball in the end zone. Both defenses are pretty good. After the Jets lost their linebacker last week, they weren't the same, but they're still a good defense. Browns' defense is going to be pretty good. I mean, they gave up 43 to the Titans, but their quarterback didn't help a lot. When you give the ball away, give the ball away, and give the ball away, you expect that. When you're not playing well, you're just not playing well. I think the Jets win this ball game 21-20. We'll see what happens there. So that's the 4 evening games. The Chiefs right now. Let's see what we have going on. Chiefs still hold an 18-point lead. The Bears are still holding on to a 7-point lead, but Denver is driving. They have the ball at Chicago's 30. So with 2-minute warning is out, and I'm actually watching the Saints and the Rams right now. It's an 18-point game with 8.5 left to go. Teddy Bridgewater does not excite me that much. The Rams defense is good. They're going to be good, and I think I even picked them to win the West, which I think I did. Yeah, 11-5. They're a good team. They're a good team. So we'll see what happens there, but I fully expect the Rams to win this game. I fully expect the Chiefs to win their game. 1:05 left to go in the game. They're kneeling on the ball now. But Denver, don't be surprised if they score, they should go for 1 point. Let's hope they do. Let's hope they don't try any fancy crap and go for 2. You could lose your job real quick if you go for 2. Even if you make it, go for win 14-13. Last week, Denver. What did the Broncos do last week? You got beaten, didn't they? Yeah, Raiders put it to them. So Denver at home, they can't afford to lose this game. So if they get that ball in the end zone, they're at the 19 right now, 1.5 to go in the game. Following along with them right now. And let's see. Flacco just threw the ball to the ground, so now it's 2nd and 10 on the 19 of Chicago, and throws the ball to Emmanuel Sanders. 3rd and 3 now to 12. How many timeouts do they have left? And Denver has no timeouts left. So, and now it's 4th and 3. 4th and 3. This is a game for them right here. 4th and 3. Wow. So Chicago can put their stamp on the game right here and win this game. I picked the Broncos to win, but it's, by 1 point, it can go either way anytime on that. But Chicago's not giving up many points. That's the one good thing they got going for them. Even against Green Bay, they didn't give up a lot of points. So let's see what happens here in this one play, and then I'll let you guys go. 4th and 3, Chicago at the Chicago 12, Denver. I'm sure Flacco's going to go back to pass again. Let's see what happens. This could be interesting right here. Base runner fouls. I did. Thanks, ID. Yep. I just went to the website and got them. Yep. 4th and 3, and Chicago calls a timeout. Wow. Why would you help them? Why do you help them, Chicago? Oh my goodness. Denver was in a shambles right there. 4th and 3 at the 12. Running up to the oh my gosh. They had 6 seconds left on the time clock, coming up to the line, and Chicago calls timeout. They helped them out right there. Now they can set up a play. They can set up one of those 2-point conversion plays, whatever you want to call it. 4th and 3 on the 12. Several seasons that have info on the cards. Otherwise, you need fouls. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, I caught one of your videos earlier. Was talking about perspective. First and goal on the Chicago 7. How about that, Port? Pass to Cortland Sutton. They're down to the 7 with how much time's left? Minute 2 left. A minute 2. Denver should score here. They got 4 plays to get 7 yards in a minute. There's nothing holding them back right here. First and goal and 7. Uh, let's see what Denver does here. But yeah, perspective. The touchdown! Oh wow! As soon as I say something, Denver touchdown, 13-12. They're an extra point away from probably going to overtime with 30 seconds left to go in regulation. The 3 top prospects, or the 3 top people that I've got on the list right here to replace Gabe Kapler. Kapler, I think, is gone. I think he is done. Today may have put the nail in the coffin for him, getting kicked out and then having to exchange with Clintack after he got kicked out. Chase Utley, I think he's a reach at best. I would if I'm the Phillies, that's not who I want. This one right here is the one I want, Joe Girardi, but I don't think he's going to come out of retirement. Joe Girardi is pretty happy at MLB Network, I think, calling some games. Um, is he working for ESPN? I think it's MLB Network. Um, let's see how the extra point goes. Extra points are not automatic nowadays. You know that. 31 seconds left to go in the game. 13-12. Uh, Chicago over Denver, and Denver has no timeouts. So we'll see what happens there. And the person I think will be the next manager of the Phillies, Mike Scioscia. I think Mike Scioscia probably will get fired from the Angels, but he may resign. But I think either way, he's going to go to Philadelphia and going to be the next manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. That's who I think it'll be. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see who Clintack brings in. Clintack's got to hope to keep his own job, but I think he will. Clintack, he's put a decent team together, and they got to get a couple pitchers in the offseason. If they do that, they're going to be a very good team. So my number 1 pick for replacement manager for the Phillies, Mike Scioscia. Number 2, Joe Girardi. Number 3, Chase Utley. And did he miss the extra point? Let's see. They're not going for 2, are they? Don't be a fool. You cannot be a fool here and go for 2 points. Even if you get it, it's a foolish move. I'm sorry. Tie the game, go to overtime, and give yourself a fighter's chance. I mean, you make good players look bad doing this. You really do. Then if you lose, then you're like 0-2, and then you cannot afford to do this. You got to take the extra point. But as of right now, they have not kicked it yet. Wow. They may be looking at this. They may be looking at make sure he got his second foot down. No. Denver comes in. They're at home. Denver's at home. You play for the win on the road. You go for a tie at home. They're at home. Denver's at home. Oh wow, they went for 2. They went for 2 and got it. They went for 2. What happened was, let me tell you what happened. Oh no, yeah. They went for 2. Um, they got it. 2 point of what it was, Chicago Bears got an offside penalty and put them at the 1 yard line. Then they went for a 2-pointer, and they threw the ball. I would have kicked it too. I would have kicked it. Uh, Now Chicago starts 0-2. How about that? Should be really interesting. Chicago 0-2, Washington 0-2 next Monday night. Both of those two teams are better than that. But Denver went for it and got it. Yeah, I would have kicked. I would have kicked. Even 1 yard, I would have kicked. You are talking about Mitchell Trubisky. 14 of 22 for 90 yards. 14 for 22 for 90 yards. That's high school stuff, guys. Flacco. How about Flacco's numbers? 35 of 50 for 292, 1 touchdown, 1 INT. But still, Trubisky, 90 yards passing. That smells all the way here on the East Coast, all the way from Denver. That is not good. That really is bad. Yeah, that is really bad. Team of the day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was just saying that. I was just talking about Josh Allen. I was just talking about Allen being the real deal. Yeah, I starting to think so. Yeah. Um, Team of the day still the New England Patriots. I mean, come on. They have not allowed a touchdown. Um, they have not allowed a touchdown since since the AFC Championship game. How about that? None in the Super Bowl, none in Week 1, none in Week 2. Talk about Tom Brady all you want to. How about that defense in New England? They're a top 5 defense out there now. He's never had that in New England to go with what he's got. This team is very dangerous right now. They are dangerous. I would not want to be playing them early in the year. It's not going to be good for whoever they play. And let's see who they get next. Let's see. Oh, boy. How about the Jets? All right. The Jets play Monday night. Okay. The Jets play the Browns on Monday night. You get a short week. Then you get to go to New England. How about that one now? How about that one? You're the Jets. You're on a short week. Okay, go to New England. You got Tom Brady. That will be a 18 to 20 point spread. It deservedly so. I do not see a chance that the Jets win that ball game. None. Darnold's out. It's really bad for that team. Another team playing not so much over their head, but their quarterback's playing really well is Jackson, Lamar Jackson for the Browns. I mean, for the Ravens, Baltimore Ravens, and they're 2-0. Now next week they get tested, and they go into Kansas City. We're going to find out the real deal about them. I think we really find out what's going on with them. Broncos right now. Let's see what's happening with the Broncos. They're still playing. Wow, Chicago's got the ball at the 45-yard line. They're getting within field goal range of them. This is they're moving back down the field. Trubisky's getting them down the field, but it is 3rd and 10. So, yeah, we'll see what Jackson does. Let's give him a few games. I mean, come on, before we give him too much credit. I know this one doesn't hit Bleacher Bums gaming at all. I'm sorry. The man out in San Diego is overrated. Come on. Really? Phillip Rivers, okay? Come on. 10 points? 10 points. I don't care whose defense you've got out there. You got to score more than 10 if you're a Hall of Famer. 10 points. Come on. He threw for 293 yards, yes. 21 of 36, though. and an INT, no touchdowns. So, and Stafford, 22 of 30, 245, two touchdowns, two INTs. So he actually had a better game than Rivers did. But I have never liked Rivers. I've never been a Rivers fan, and then now here's another team that I think is going to be better than most people think. Indianapolis Colts. All right, ID Juster. Even without Andrew Luck, they are a borderline playoff team. They are a good ball team. The Jets have a great defense. The Titans is a team that went in and beat the Browns by 30 last week. They go into Tennessee this week and beat them. Indianapolis is going to be tough. They're going to be a tough out. Anytime you want to play somebody tough, there they are. Colts could win that division. I'm with you, Roger. They could win that division. Certainly could. They could do it. Wow. And now Denver, what? Oh, man. Prevent defense. We're going to prevent ourselves from winning. Come on. Chicago has them all 1st and 10 at the 35. Right now, they're out there for it would be a 53-yard field goal. 1 second left. That's what they're going to be looking at, a 53-yarder. Chicago just called a timeout. Last year, we all know about Chicago's woes at kicking. And game 1 spelled doom for them with the prevents you from winning. Last week, the Bears, that's all they scored was 3 against the Packers. Are they going to get this and win this one? First down right now. It is first down. Let's see what's going to happen here. Made the field goal. They made a 53-yarder. How about that? Eddie Pinheiro kicked a 53-yard field goal. Chicago beats the Broncos. So I lose this game. I picked the Broncos to win 31-30. Broncos lose in the last play of the game, 16-14 to the Bears. 16-14. 53-yarder. How about that? And that's what it did. That prevented them to. You've only given up 13 points all game. Why change what you're doing? Why change? The Rams are putting an ass whipping right now on the Saints. If you heard, Drew Brees is hurt. Drew Brees is injured. He was throwing the ball, hit his hand on a helmet, and had to be taken out of the game. Preliminary facts. Oh, I'm not even going to go call them facts. Preliminary statement says that he could have a fracture in the back of his hand, could be 7 weeks out. Now, anytime you got TMZ telling you stuff, you go on about half of what they tell you. So right now, if I was guessing, I'll say it's probably a 2 or 3 week injury right now. We'll see what happens. Obviously, if they got to put a cast on it, it will be 6 weeks. We'll see if it's broken. But let's see if we can find out. Saints are toast. If that is the case, let's see if we can. Let's see if I can find out any more information about the health of Drew Brees. If anybody else finds out anything, let me know. From everything I'm reading right now, it's not. With 9 minutes left to go in the game, Brees was back on the sideline holding his helmet. Now, I'd love to know what hand he was holding his helmet in, okay? That's really not probably the best thing for him to be doing is holding a helmet after you just possibly broke your hand. Because I've had that happen too. When I was throwing football, uh, Teddy Bridgewater uh, came in. They lose 27-9. I picked the Rams to win this game only by 3 points, but obviously had no idea that that Drew Brees was going to get hurt. And now let's see who Brees and let's see who the Saints have next week. Now's the time if you want to play the Saints. Now's the time to play them, right? Let's see, Seahawks in Seattle. So if he's not good and hurt, they can fix you. Yeah, they can. They can fix you up a good one there. Um, that's crazy stuff. What's up, Tribe fans? Oh yeah, I like Seattle by a lot in that game. If he doesn't play, we got to see if he plays. Um, but how do you guys look at tonight's Sunday night game? The Eagles at the Falcons. Eagles at Wednesday were 1.5 point favorites. Let's see what the line is right now. I have not looked at it today. Eagles at Falcons. Let's see. What is the line? Uh, it's 1 point. It still went down to 1 point, folks. How about that? It's actually one. It's actually Eagles 1 point, 52.5 point over and under right now. Yeah, went down to 1 point. Um, anybody got a final score they gonna want to throw out there to me? Eagles Falcons. Can the Falcons come back from that horrendous loss last week? They really played like shit last week. The Falcons, I mean, Matty Ice showed nothing last week. Okay, Roger. Roger says uh, Philadelphia 24 and Atlanta 20. 24-20. All right. Anybody else got a score they want to throw out there? Matty Ice last week, he looked like shit against the Vikings too. I mean, the Vikings is not. When I say that, okay, let's put it in context. He turned the ball over when he shouldn't have turned the ball over. Phantomatic says 47-10. All right. I switched mine up too once I heard that a couple of the Falcons are out tonight. I went to the Eagles 40, Falcons 23. I'm just not sold on the Falcons defense like a lot of people. Ryan had a good week last week 33 of 46, 304, two touchdowns, killer, two interceptions. They also had a fumble lost. Yeah, you just can't have those. You can't have those things happening. You just cannot do it. Um, Tonight, if you want me to tell you who's probably going to be the one to watch out for, uh, I think probably Alshon Jeffrey. Everybody's going to be going to Deshaun Jackson's side of the field. No, you can't throw the ball that much and try to beat every team out there. Alshon Jeffrey tonight may have a little bit more to do in the game. Nelson Aguilar may as well, but Alshon Jeffrey, he's the one I'm thinking could be the one that be the can opener, so to speak, and make the game. Now to be 47-10, like Phantomatic says, they're going to have to count on Deshaun Jackson just to bust this team wide open. He can do it. He can do it. He ran by the Redskins last week like it was standing in quicksand. He can do it. So this is the one team he's always been happy with. Well, not happy with, but he's always played well with. When he went to Tampa, he didn't play well. When he went to Washington, uh, Well, Roger, I think that sometimes, but when you start talking about track stars and the one part of your defense that might be the lacking the most, and it looks like defensive back right now for Atlanta is hurting. The last thing you want is track stars on both sides of both sides of the offensive side, to both receivers. They can run by you, run 4.240s. You just don't, you can't whip up a defensive back to cover these guys. And it's all going to be up to 11. If he hits them on target, the Falcons don't have a chance in this game. But if the Falcons put pressure on the defense, make Wentz turn the ball over, yeah, that's right. If they make Wentz turn the ball over tonight, the Falcons can stay in this game. That's all they're going to do, stay close. I still think the Eagles are the better team. Eagles have a better defense. Eagles have a better offense. I think their quarterback may not be as good. I'd probably give Ryan edge in just at quarterback, but they call plays that doesn't mess up Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz very seldom goes back seven. Carson Wentz very seldom goes back 7 steps and throws the football. Most time he's 2 or 3 steps, throws it, gets rid of it. And the reason for that, I think, is the offensive setup for the Eagles do not want to see him get hurt again. He gets hurt now, or if he gets hurt anytime during the season, Wentz is, I mean, but yes, he's solid. But if he gets hurt, they have nothing to fall back on now. You got the other one went down to Jacksonville and got hurt last week, Foles. So you have nothing to fall back on if he gets hurt. So we'll see what happens there. I don't think he gets hurt this week. If he was to get hurt, probably colder game somewhere, and it's not going to be cold in Atlanta. So we'll see what happens. I pick the Eagles 40-23. Tomorrow night's game, like I say, I'm gonna stick by what I said all along. I think the Jets, without Sam Darnold, beat the Browns, the Super Bowl bound Browns with OBJ and that tremendous offense. 21-20. I'm taking the Jets at home. We'll see what happens, but yeah, let's see what happens with the Phillies managerial watch. You should start hearing some things in the next week to 10 days as to who they're interested in talking to. Clintack is going to have to start contacting people sooner rather than later because he knows if Mike Scioscia's name gets out there and in the Philadelphia media, somebody from New York, somebody from Washington may scoop him up before he gets the chance. I still think Dave Martinez is probably out the door if Washington doesn't go into playoffs pretty deep. He's brought this team back from the doldrums this year, but they shouldn't have been there to start with. The Mets are a better team than they're playing. Mickey Callaway's probably out of here. Let's see who else. Who else is probably gone? Bud. Who's the manager of Colorado? Is it Bud Black? It's Bud Black. I believe it is. If he's there, he's gone. Bye. See ya. Colorado's manager's got to go. Yeah. Bochy is retiring, so that's going to open up a seat out there in was it San Francisco? I think he's retiring. Reds, their managerial position may end up opening up too quick too. Who knows? They played like shit. And the Indians, believe it or not, I've heard talk that the Indians may cut bait with their manager. He used to manage the Red Sox. seem here. I seem just as good as anything. Ball headed. Uh, they may not. They may not. But they played way, way lower than their expectations this year. And the Indians were supposed to be a very good team, and uh, they just didn't play well. Indians didn't play well at all, and we'll see what happens there. Um, I think the Red Sox keep. I think the Red Sox keep their manager one more year. They cut ties with their GM, president, whatever. Dombrowski. We'll see what happens now with that. Uh, there's a few names being dropped out there for that too. So we'll see. All right, guys. Till I see you again. Enjoy your Sunday night football. Oh, let me show you what I got coming up. I got a History Maker baseball coming up. Thanks to um, Al Wilson. This is Al's score sheets, and got me about 100 of them printed off the other day. So I'm going to have some History Maker baseball coming up in the next day two, and we'll see what's happening with that. So I'll see you again. I'm Rob. Have a great rest of your evening. Thanks, Roger. Thanks, Tribe Fan. Thanks, Fanomatic. Thanks, ID. You all hang with me. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching me for the first time. And if you hadn't given me a thumbs up, shame on you. Till I see you again, I'm Rob. Thanks a lot, and have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks.